G'day Jillians. So today I want to talk to you about charging. I know, like myself, many of you are getting your first EV, and it was only 5-6 weeks ago I was asking myself the question, okay, I need a charger because I know that Geely are supplying me a wall charger, but I know that the car doesn't come with a level 1 portable, or otherwise known as a trickle charger. And these are usually how people get started. Yes, I know that some cars come with these. For whatever reason, Geely's chosen not to have one in the car. But anyway, this video is about explaining some of the differences between these level 1 portable, or otherwise known as trickle chargers, and what you should know about them. So, they're AC. So your car runs off a DC battery, but what these do is they allow AC from your house to go into your car. Now, one thing's important to note, unlike things like phones or laptops or electric scooters, this box doesn't actually do the conversion. So all this box does is monitor the AC coming in and regulate the same AC going out into your car. The car is actually what does the conversion, and that's why you'll see when you look at car specifications, it'll have a AC charging rate. Quite often you'll see it mentioned as 7 kilowatt or 11 kilowatt because it's the car itself that changes the AC to the DC. So why is that important? So these boxes, even though they don't do the charging, they're filled with electronics that monitor the electricity that comes into the box and ensure that the right amount's going out into your car. So they're like a gatekeeper to make sure that the right amount's going out. So because it's electronics in there, obviously you need to be careful with them. Because they're portable, don't drop them on the ground. Try to keep them away from where they could be damaged. So I've got some notes, so excuse me if I refer to them. Now, a few of the Eagle Eye members, when I did my earlier videos, they had a look at the charger I was using. And like many of you, the first thing I did was go, how can I save some money on this? Because I know that they're expensive. So I bought a couple of different chargers. One of which was from Aldi, and that was a great cheap buy, Australian safety certified, so wahoo, I've saved a bit of money there. And I got another one from from online. I think it was AliExpress, Amazon, and it wasn't Australian safety certified, but there was a lot of good reviews. It looked good when I got it. It was, seemed good quality. But I had this nagging doubt in the back of my mind about the fact, well, it doesn't have an Australian safety certificate. Now, why is that important? Well, upon reflection, basically what we're doing is we're connecting the most expensive thing that we have in our life, which is our house, to the second most expensive thing we have in our life, which is our car. And what do we want in between those? Well, we want something that we can go to sleep at night, especially if we're charging at night, and know that what we're using to charge our car is safe. Of course, anything that you buy from overseas and it's not registered in Australia, if there does happen to be a manufacturing defect or down the line it is found to be faulty, there's no recourse for them to do a recall or to let people know, hey, this batch that we did is no good, they need to be returned for a refund. You just don't get that. Whereas obviously if you buy from an Australian retailer, they have to, or they must have an Australian safety certificate. And we've seen that recently with the Geely chargers that were sent out. Even though they'd done the testing, they hadn't stamped the charger and they hadn't supplied that certificate. So now that's been rectified, but it just shows that it is important for those companies to do that safety certification. The other reason that it probably needs to be, it's really important, is insurance, of course. So I'd hate to have to make a claim because something happened, whether it's at home or it's away, and you're using a charger that wasn't Australian safety certified and something happened. There's a question mark in my mind anyway over what would happen with insurance. Now, so when Ben and I, the page admins, when we've been asked about, well, what charger have you got? That's what made me think, I don't feel comfortable saying to people, I got this off eBay or Amazon or whatever, and it's fine. Because I thought, well, if something does go wrong, I don't want other people to have bought something that not necessarily is quality controlled. So I went researching and looking at recommended Australian companies that have Australian certified products. And what I came across was a company called EVSE. They've been around since 2015. Got a whole range of level 1 and level 2 chargers. They do a lot of industry work, and basically they've got the runs on the board. So we approached them about being page sponsors. Now they are offering a 10% discount to our members. Ben and I don't make a cent out of this at all. It's purely a discount for page members by using a code when you go into that page. So what else have I got here? Yep, so now I'm not an electrical engineer. I know what I know through what I've read, but before I explain to you about the two chargers I'm going to show you, if you want to know about all the different types of chargers from a source that doesn't sell equipment, and that's usually what I try and find, is sources that they're not trying to sell you something, they're just trying to educate you. There's an electrical engineer who runs a website called Solar Quotes, and on his website he's done a video called EV Charging 101, and it's an excellent video to explain all types of different charging and what you should know. He also goes into level 2 charging, which is the chargers that you hardwire on your house that output higher power to your car. Okay, and he also just out of interest, he recommends on his website Fronius level 2 chargers, which I know that EVSE does have on their website. So there you go. Okay, so the two chargers I have here today to show you are the mini portable charger, that's this one here, and the smart portable charger, or type 2 EV charger. So I'll start with the mini. The reason it's called a mini, as you can see, size wise, it's smaller. The actual cable itself is slightly thinner and it's lighter. They've both got 6 meter length, so 6 meters from the plug to the car. Now these are standard 10 amp plugs, so you can plug this into any standard power point in your home, and they're also waterproof rated, so you can have the car charging in the rain. So 6 meters, as I said. Now, one important thing that I mentioned in another video I've done, if your power point is more than 6 meters away from your car and you need to use an extension cord, please try and either buy an extension cord that's the appropriate length. Also get an extension cord that has a thick core, is rated as with a heavy duty thick core. I won't go into that right now, but it's important so that you don't overheat the extension cord, because the longer you have an extension cord, the more heat that it can generate. And also the other important thing is don't coil the extension cord. Excuse me. Coiling the extension cord again can cause heat to build up in the cord and can lead to less than ideal outcomes. So again, don't coil the extension cord. Try to get one that's the right length, and if possible, don't use one at all. Now, these are called trickle chargers for a reason, because they charge at quite a low rate. What I've done is I've done some calculations myself, and if we assume that our cars burn about 15 kilowatts per 100 kilometres, and these can charge at about 1800 or 18 kilowatts overnight, so 1.8 kilowatts times 10 is 18. So basically you're going to get about 100 kilometres overnight using a trickle charger. You can get more if you get home and get it on earlier, but if we say ballpark 100 kilometres, then you know, okay, if I go out and buy a trickle charger, I'm looking at about 100 kilometres of range per night of charging. So that's the Mini. Like I said, it's a lighter weight one, and it's what we call a dumb charger. There's some lamps on the front there, and depending on what order they light up in, there's a code on the back here that explains what those lights mean. The other charger I have here is the portable charging box, and this one's a smart portable charger. So it's got a LCD screen on there, which is capable of giving you some information. It also speaks via Bluetooth to an app. Now, I just want to pull up the data sheet for you. So on the data sheet, it actually shows you, I don't know if you can see that, basically there's an app, talks to your phone while you're sitting at home, so you can't go out somewhere because it's only Bluetooth length, but you can start and stop the charging times, you can set the rate of charging, you can see how much power's gone in. So like I said, it's a smart charger. It weighs about 1 kilo more than the Mini, 6 meters in length as well. And again, both, as I said, are Australian safety standard certified. There's also a manual start-stop button on there if you don't want to use the app. So there you have it. So EVSE group sponsors 10% discount by using the link. If you go into the featured comments on the Facebook page, you'll find the code for that. Otherwise, on our Facebook group, when I post this video, I'll put the code in below there. Those of you who have had good interactions with EVSE, by all means, comment below. They, as I said, they're a full service company, so they'll do installations of level 2 chargers, and they've got a variety of different smart charging appliances. So I hope that was helpful. Fire away questions in the comments and we'll answer as we can, remembering that we're not experts, we're just fellow EV owners that are trying to help answer some questions or point you in the right direction. And just to repeat, the video that I highly recommend you watch to learn more about charging is on the Solar Quotes website, called EV Charging 101. Again, they don't sell anything. All they're doing is providing information. They're more about using solar to power your home and power your EV. And I know that the gentleman from that site who made the video is also an EV owner. So hopefully that's been helpful. I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.